Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I am talking about not railroading your players. And what I do to avoid railroading my players. So all the major hitters in YouTube tabletop role-playing game commentary, you guys know them: Dawn Forgecast, Nerdarchy, DMG Info, Fistful of Dice, Runeslinger. There's a lot of them out there. Cody over on Taking 20. There's quite a few of them out there now. Of course, the best of them is Nerdarchy. So there's a lot of guys out there talking about this. And one of the topics that's been threading through all of these guys recently is, are you railroading? And what does railroading mean? And is railroading wrong? Okay. So short answers is railroading is very wrong from my perspective. You never want to railroad. And I am deeply, deeply committed to not railroading my players. And so today I just wanted to talk to you about what it takes to not railroad your players and how you get there, okay? So I am running tonight a Fate Accelerated Edition game, which takes place in Arb Gulch in 1876. So Arb Gulch is a fictional town that is exactly 20 miles north of Tombstone, Arizona. So this is a game that takes place in actual historical time in 1876. And we did set it in a fictional town just to give us a little bit of flexibility, you know. All right. So you have so this is a pure Western historical tabletop role-playing game being run using the Fate Accelerated Edition. So for tonight, all right, I'm running this in an hour, like in exactly 62 minutes, okay? Now, I've been prepping for about 2 or 3 days for this game, and I would say that my prep time is between 3 and 5 hours of prep time, okay? And so what I've done in that prep time is I have set up the following. So here are the events that will occur tonight. So a disgruntled churchgoer who goes to the small church in Arb Gulch will contract an arsonist to burn the church down that night. And our game is going to start out in the saloon, in the Golden Spike Saloon, okay? And all of these things that I'm telling you, the characters will get the player characters will get clues to discover what's happening that evening, okay? Now, if they fail and they don't really pick up on the clues, that's okay, because you're going to see by the time I'm done, there's multiple adventure hooks here, and that's one of the reasons why I'm talking about this today. Is that's how you get to not having a railroad, is you have a lot of branches, and they can choose to go down those branches, right? So here's how you get there, right? So we have the church is going to burn down. The next one is there's a young man by the name of Jasper, and he is contracting a Hapa Supai Indian, a Native American, to escort him that very night to see his love, a Tohono squaw named Stone Dove. Okay, and he's going to give money over to this Indian scout, and they're going to go out in the middle of the night, and he's going to meet his Native American love interest. Right now, that's incredibly dangerous and a very ill-advised idea, because there are wolves, bears, bandits, Native American tribes who will kill the interlopers who have taken their land. You can get trampled by bison. Now it is at night, so I guess maybe you couldn't get trampled by bison, but you could fall in a pit, like your horse can turn a shoe. Very, very bad idea, right? So this is going to be, available for the characters to say, are they going to follow him? Are they going to stop him? Are they just going to let him waltz out and that's going to happen, right? So we'll get there. Let's keep going. All right. The next one is in the parlor on the second floor of the Golden Spike Saloon. By the way, it's called the Golden Spike because it's near a railway, so railway spike. In this parlor, 4 women of Arb Gulch are going to hold a seance. Okay, and there's a significant event that's going to come out of that seance. So if any of the characters sneak around, like climb up the building and listen at the window, they're going to hear something really significant that they need to react to, okay? So there's the seance. There's the church burning. There is the Stone Dove rendezvous, okay? That's everything. That's everything so far. There is also a Wells Fargo wagon that has just arrived that day. And it has two armed guards who are going to be sleeping in the saloon, and 2 armed guards who are with that wagon. And while they're sitting in the saloon, they will see one of Billy the Kid's men in the saloon, and he is there scouting that entire situation for when Billy Kid arrives that night to rob the gold from the Wells Fargo wagon. Okay? So you have the Wells Fargo wagon. And then you have Elizabeth Morrow, okay? And she is going to sell some 6 guns. So the next one is Elizabeth, and this one happens last because it will shut, basically I have to set up all those other adventure points. And then this one is a combat trigger, right? So Elizabeth Morrow is a woman. She's a red-haired woman who lives in Arbor Gulch. She's lived there for for about 10 years, and she kind of grew up there, and so she's about 25 years old. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. She is around 35 years old. And Elizabeth Morrow is a known woman in the town because 3 years ago, her 12-year-old son disappeared. Okay. And then a year after her, and the whole town went out. Of course, to look for him, right? They didn't find anything. Then a year later, her husband, they saved up some money. He got some supplies, and he went on a far range. Got the best horse he could get, and he went out, and he disappeared. So now Elizabeth Morrow is is a non-widow. Like, she doesn't know if her husband's alive. She doesn't know if her son is alive. There's a lot of people who just, like, the best she gets in the town is pity, okay? And she doesn't have a lot of money, right? So that night, she's coming into the saloon to sell her husband's 6 guns, right? Now, he had taken all this other stuff with him, but the 6 guns she's going to sell belonged to her father-in-law, so that, it wasn't, he had weapons that he took with him. But this is a special family heirloom, and it's really important to Elizabeth Morrow. And she is going to the saloon, and that night she's going to sell that 6 gun to Roan Charsk, and he is a gunslinger, okay? Now, when she comes into the saloon, she's going to be hassled, right, by some drunk, cowboy. And the players are going to then need to say, hey, do we stand up for her, or do we just let that happen, okay? So you have Elizabeth Morrow. So you have the seance, you have the church burning, you have the Wells Fargo wagon, you have the Elizabeth Morrow combat trigger, and you have, and then you have the Stone Dove rendezvous. That is 5 separate adventure hooks, okay? Now, one of the things I think is, one of the reasons why I do this is, one, I really do enjoy building this. One thing I will admit, it is not easy to do this. It does take time, and it does take preparation. So in order to not railroad your players, you do need to be committed to it, right? And so, but I really feel it's worth it, and and I really feel this is the way to build a strong table. This is the way to attract strong players. This is the way to have fun and do something that lifts the hobby, right? And one of the reasons why I feel like real strongly that I am not going to railroad them is I have no idea what's going to happen tonight. So I'm playing Fate Accelerated tonight, but I have fulfilled the game goals specifically the game goals of Dungeon World, okay, which is you play to find out what happens. So tonight, it really is going to be a super fun story, not just for the players, but for me too, because I don't know where those players are going to go. I really don't. And that's when that's when you are, in my opinion, bringing about the full fruition of storytelling in the way that Gary Gygax, in the direction he originally pointed us. And this is a tabletop role-playing game in the way that it was meant to be. And so I just want to encourage you out there, if you've been hearing a lot of videos about what is railroading, if you know what's going to happen that night, if you have even a 50% chance of knowing what's going to happen that night, you're railroading, in my opinion. But if you have no idea what's going to happen, you have freed yourself from railroading. And I think that's the goal, what we should be doing now. We should be trying to free ourselves from railroading. Thank you.